back. We back with y'all. Welcome back to season 2 of the TuVues podcast. We excited to be back.
Yo.
We took a little hiatus from we called our 25th episode, but now we back with y'all with season 2. We excited to be back with some new topics and new relevant content for y'all. I'm Dr. Keith, and on the other side you got Kev G. Holla at him.
What up, man? Kev G in the building, man. We got to be back, man. A lot of y'all been asking us, like, man, where we been at? Like, man, we just took a little break. Stop going on those couple months. Kids going to school and all that, a lot of stuff transition and all that. But we back, man. We finna have some fun with this, be a little bit serious too. You know how we are. You know how we do. TuVues back in the building, people. Yeah, boy.
Let's get it. Once again, man, if y'all have topics y'all want to hear us talk about, hear our views on a few things, just let us know. Hit us up at our email, hit us up on Facebook, and give us some topics that y'all want to hear about. We wanna give the people what they want.
Give them what they want, baby.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Yeah, man. Let's have some fun in season 2, man. Hopefully, man, we can do more guests here and there, man. On like a lot more crucial topics. So hopefully it's bigger and better season 2. Here we go, man. But y'all know how we do it, man. We not changing these things we do. We jumping right into a key. Hit your boy up with it.
It's time for KFG's top 5. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Today's top 5, man. This podcast top 5. Thanksgiving around the corner, Christmas around the corner. Man, we like to eat, man. So
Right.
we're gonna do the top 5 holiday dishes, man. Top 5 holiday dishes. Who usually start off, me or you?
No, I'll kick it off this one. Thanksgiving my favorite holiday. There's people like Christmas. Thanksgiving my favorite holiday, so I'll go ahead and kick it off. For me, let me throw my honorable mention out here and shout out to my cousin Joanna, Joanna King. My honorable mention is Joanna cheesecake, her strawberry cheesecake. That's my honorable mention. What's that?
I said it's fire.
Yeah, that's my top. That's my honorable mention. Shout out to my cuz. That's the one cheesecake. If it's coming to the party, I got to get a slice. All right, so let's go to my number 5. My number 5 is the Queen's, my mama, potato salad. It gotta be my mama's. I gotta go with potato salad from my mom's. All right. Then 4, I'm a ham. I like ham. So my number 4, I need some ham, whether that's Christmas or Thanksgiving. I need some ham. Number 3 gonna be a shocker though. Number 3 is shocker. I gotta give it up to my boy Kev G. Fried turkey. I don't even like turkey. I mean, as far as one of the main dishes, if you put a baked turkey on a table, I probably ain't gonna get none of your baked turkey. But if Kev G got the fried turkey out there, your boy gotta get a leg. You know what I'm saying? Or a wing, just give me a piece of the meat because it's about as moist as the ham. So you gotta go. On my number 3 gonna be Kev G fried turkey. My number 2 is peach cobbler. I don't care about who. I don't care what way. I'm a peach cobbler connoisseur. Give me some peach cobbler, and I'm good for the day. I don't need the ice cream. Man, like, oh, peach cobbler ice cream. Nah, I don't need the ice cream. Just give me the peach cobbler. I am my number 1 all day. The Queen, our Curtis King's dressing. Number 1 is the Queen's dressing. My mama make the best turkey dressing in the game. Now, if you want to spice up a little bit, you can throw my sister Cuckoo Giblet gravy on top of it. But when it comes down to straight dressing, love you, mama. Best in the game. It's my top 5.
You got some questionable ones in there, bro.
Oh, name one. Name one that's questionable.
Peach cobbler.
Oh, well, okay.
Holiday is the best one. One best peach. Top 5 peach cobbler, bro. And then another one.
Cobbler top 5.
Mama potato salad. I love my mom potato salad, man. Love it. I don't think it's in the top 5 holiday dishes, though, brother.
This dude is smoking.
It ain't in the top 5 holiday dishes, brother.
Hey,
I can't
mama,
see
you hear your son, right? You hear your son?
I can't see it, bro.
All right, man. You hear your son, though.
I love it because she make me my own separate side of it though, because I don't do onions and bell pepper in my potato salad. So I always get my own. She
That's
love
why
her
it's why it ain't
she
in your
love her
top five.
she love her baby, and she always fix her baby his own potato
That's
salad.
why it's
But
not. But he didn't
I
put your
digress.
potato salad in his top five. All right.
Oh, don't worry about it. Now let me do my top five. My honorable mention is lasagna. Lasagna is my honorable mention holiday
As a
food.
holiday dish,
Layered, that layer with that cheese, that pasta cheese, boy, you
as a holiday dish,
meat sauce on the top of that bad boy. Yes,
questionable.
yes,
Questionable.
yes, not questionable. Okay, my 5 is cabbage. Now that's not really a holiday dish, but I love cabbage for holidays. I love cabbage as a holiday dish. It's just me. Love cabbage as a holiday dish, bro.
Bro, I
That's just
love
KFG.
cabbage in general. Give me some cabbage
I
and
know,
chicken, I'm good.
I know.
But as
That's
your
why
top five holiday
holiday.
dishes,
You heard me. And then I'm gonna go with fried turkey, like your boy Keith said. Boy, I do my thing with some fried turkey, man. And every year I do a little bit more to it, a little like try to get it up a little, my own touches to it. Fried turkey gonna be my number 4. My number 3 is caramel cake. Caramel cake is my number 3. You
hey,
gotta
your
have
boy don't know
caramel
how to
cake
make it though.
every
Kevin be
holiday.
burning the caramel.
Hey, no, no, man, I ain't burn the caramel this time. So every time I make it, something else happened. Something happened right. This time I didn't let it sit fast enough, so it caked up. It caramelized, but then it caked. Right,
It
but
looked
but
like
but
buttercream frosting.
it didn't look like a glazed donut. But it was still. Ask anybody ate it. It was still fire. It
I
was
don't eat
still
caramel cake. I ain't
fire.
tried.
Caramel cake. But that's one thing I want to say about caramel cake, though. The people that make it. A lot of people make great caramel, right? People can make great caramel. The caramel isn't what make the cake, people.
It's the
Anybody can
cake.
make a great caramel. It's the cake. Stop over baking your cakes, man. Don't try to over bake your cakes. And when you get it, let it cool. Y'all be letting it sit in those hot pans, man. Stop overcooking your cake.
You
Coming
stop
from
overcooking your
the chef.
caramel.
You stupid. All right, man. My number 2, man. And he keep gonna hate on this one too. The multi-cheese layered macaroni and cheese.
No, I ain't gonna hate on macaroni and cheese. Not for a holiday
Bro.
dish.
But
I'll
it
give you
can't
that.
be like a single cheese, right? You got to have the Velveeta, then you got to put the 3-layer cheese on it, then pasta on top of that, then layer it again. Man, it's got to be that blend, right? You
So,
just can't do
so
just
you want a
Velveeta.
macaroni lasagna?
Exactly. A macaroni. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling that a macaroni lasagna. That's my number.
Not-
That's my number
I'm
2.
not.
A macaroni
I'm not
lasagna.
gonna hate on. I'm not gonna hate on macaroni for a holiday dish. I see that.
But then I'm gonna go with number 1, man. I gotta ride with you on number 1. I mean, it's gotta be dressing, bro. And I can't have anybody dressing. Now, I could do some people's dressing, but my mom's is just phenomenal. The thing about
Al Curdy.
thing about dressing, man, and this even with my mom dressing, stop rushing them to make it. Let them take their time making that dressing, man.
Hmm?
Like when my mama take her time to make some dressing, boy, y'all don't know what y'all getting.
Man,
Y'all don't know what y'all get when she take her time. But when people rushing her, it won't might not come out like it can be. But she can take her time and make it some dressing. And then when you throw the fried turkey in it,
yeah, man, your boy. I'm
yeah,
telling you,
man,
man. One time she made me some like she froze it like so I can just throw it in because that's back when I couldn't cook. Just to throw it in the pan and one man, well,
nothing's changed.
I can cook
You
now. I'm
still can't
good.
cook.
Hey,
Okay,
can I throw one more honorable mention, man? And you finna hate this
go ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
You finna hate this one. And I think most of the people on this that look at this gonna hate it. Boiled okra.
Oh, the bug. No good.
Boiled
No good.
okra.
No good.
Man,
I hate
okay,
boiled okra.
that's honorable mention. Boiled okra.
You might as well eat your snot. Straight up, man. I hate that slimy junk, man. But okra
I
is
love me
trash,
some boiled
bro.
okra.
I eat fried okra,
Yeah.
but I'm not eating no boiled okra. No fried okra from churches.
Man.
I can get down on some fried okra. Throw a little hot sauce on them bad boys.
Mm.
But boiled okra, no. You might eat your boogers.
Double. I'm telling y'all, you
All right,
sleep,
man.
bro.
That's the top 5, man. So I'm gonna run mine back, man. I want you to run yours back. Mine gonna be. Hold on, I lost my list. I got cabbage, fried turkey, caramel cake, multi-layered mac and cheese or lasagna mac and cheese and dressing, man. That's my top
Yeah,
5, man.
I got my honorable mention. I'm still throwing my okra on there, but of course my cousin Joanna cheesecake, mama potato salad, need some ham, I need kale fried turkey, I need some peach cobbler, and then Al Curdy dressing, and I'm good to go.
One thing about it, man, this Thanksgiving gonna be hurting, man. You might not be hurting,
I
but man, I'm
know.
be I'm be on the
I'm gonna
struggle
get.
bus this Thanksgiving,
I'm
boy.
yeah. I may get mama dressing. Y'all better be struck.
I might fry my own turkey then. Unless Curtis and them do
But
something down there, I'll go down there. But
next year we getting back together. Next
yeah,
year we
gotta
need to
figure
get
it
back
out.
together. Yeah.
That's the top 5, man. Let's hear y'all list, man. But don't come in no okra. Tell you that right now, I'm cussing you out. Don't come in no okra. Or no other mess. No, y'all. Some of y'all got some weird. Know something that you used to like too, man. That Phyllis used to make.
Cucumber.
That
That was gonna be one of my
that, cu-
honorable
that
mentions.
cucumber salad. Yeah,
Cucumber,
yeah. You used to
tomato,
like
and
that.
onion salad. That was gonna be one of my
Yeah,
honorable mentions. Shout out to my cousin Phyllis. That was gonna be one of them. I had to pick though.
yeah.
That cheesecake comes serious though.
Hey, I like some what's for how to call it the cold pasta salad. I like a good
Oh yeah, I
pasta
like
salad
pasta
too, though,
salad.
bro.
I
I like
like
a good
pasta
pasta
salad.
salad too. I don't know
But
if that vinegar tastes on it.
But you know what Big Bev gonna be mad about? Because you know
What?
what her dish is: green bean
What?
casserole.
The bug.
I
Can't do it.
I don't like nobody being green bean casserole.
Green. I don't
So
like nobody. I don't like green beans. Period. I don't like green
yeah,
beans
me
at
either.
all.
I used to.
Can't
I don't no
stand them.
more.
Can't stand 'em. Never could eat them ever.
But people love cuckoo green bean casserole. I just ain't never been.
I know.
That's not my food.
Can't do it. That's the top 5 from your boys, man. Top 5. Let us hear yours, man. Hit us up on all them social medias, man. All those, platforms,
Yeah, let
email.
us
We don't know
know.
what y'all got. All right, man. But y'all know, man. We got to do these. We bringing it back. This ain't going nowhere, man. We gonna do Dr. Davis's dad jokes. We're gonna get back to these these dad jokes, man. See what this fool got for us today, man, on these goofy dad jokes, man. What you got, man?
How many can I get, man?
I don't care, man. Just run them, man. Run. Let's
I
see what you
got
can do.
3. All
Hey, man.
right, man.
Hey. We coming back for this new episode, man. Season 2, bro. You gotta come off hard, bro. Don't give us
Okay,
don't give us no trash, bro.
I'm coming hard in the paint.
Okay, don't give us no trash. Here we go.
Shaquille O'Neal in the 2000s. Hey, check this out, man. All right, so as you know, I'm trying to learn how to cook, and I've been posting pictures of me making fried rice. I'm trying to make more Chinese food, more Asian food, right? So I made the fried rice. I know how to make crab rangoon, but what I'm working on now is making egg rolls. Want to know how to make an egg roll?
Oh.
You push it. All right.
But I told you come on
All right.
hot, man. Like, come on, man.
Hey, that was okay. Here go one. How can you tell if a pig's hot? You outside, you on the farm, right? How can you tell a pig's hot? It's bacon.
Bro, that was stupid, bro. Bro, that was stupid, bro.
All right, one more for you. One more for you. Yeah. All right, ready?
Bro, hey, bro, hold on, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
This one, you ain't gonna get this one either, though, man. I'm gonna do it anyway. How does a computer catch a cold? How does a computer catch a cold?
It gets a virus.
It left its windows open. Hey, I'm here all night. I'm here all night.
Hey, bro, you stupid, man. You stupid.
Hey man, hey, I'm here all night, man. I'm here all night.
You
Hey, something
stupid.
cool that happened. So for Principals Appreciation Month, so they had the kids do something different each week for me. And so this is the reason why we set for the whole season 2, because they did something cool. So they know I like dad jokes. So what they did, they wrote me a thank you for being like some like special message for being for Principal Appreciation Month. And it's like a postcard, and on the flip side, it's a dad joke. So I got like 400 dad jokes. So on the phone.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, cause you know how it is when it comes to you and your kids at these schools. Every school you ever been at, I had to roast your kids at them school. So now you give me
Hey,
more reason to roast the kids at your school. I'm fine off of
hey,
every last one that's horrible.
I got about 400 dad jokes. It's on the pop of
I'm
this season.
I already had to roast your kids at every school. Roast them at this last school. I'm coming back. I'm a roll. Everyone I call terrible, I come back and roasting them kids.
I'm gonna read them from the postcard. I'm gonna bring the postcard, read it from the postcards.
Hey, bro, but why is that though, bro? Every time I go to one of
Mhm.
your schools, the kids think they can roast me, bro.
Yeah, they do be
Why is,
trying you. It's been out that way
bro?
since Bloomington.
And I've been giving them the hunker. I don't care. I ain't your principal, homie. I'm coming. I'm
Yeah,
fine off at
it's been that way since Bloomington, man. Since my first year
man
as
since
teacher,
the
it's been that
beginning,
way.
bro. But I'm on
Oh.
y'all though. All right, man. That's Dr. Davis' dad jokes. He said he got 400 of them, man. Pick the
Yeah.
best, bro. Don't pick the
Hey,
best, man.
that
No,
egg
don't come with
one,
no mess,
the egg roll one.
bro. Bro, all of those was touch and go, bro. They was touch and go. But no, y'all out there, if y'all think his dad jokes good, y'all rate him, right? He did 3, right? What? How many thumbs up out of 3 he get? Y'all
If I'm
tell
not
us what
getting
he get out of
hey,
3, bro.
putting up tens, if I'm not getting all 30s, we got a problem.
Hey, y'all, Key can't fight. All right, man. So that's the dad jokes, man. Let's roll, man. Let's roll. First topic of the new season, man. This one I thought is very relevant in the sense of it's not new, right? Because it's a every generation thing. It's not new. It's just something where you see things that's happening and you hear what teenagers and young kids are people young adults are doing right now and younger kids are doing right now. You're just wondering how you can be active in the process of doing certain things and touching that generation. So today, man, we want to talk about generational communication, generation communication, man. Pretty much we want to talk about how do we talk to the younger generation? How do we motivate them? How do we ignite a fire within them to do great things? How do we understand them, right? And I think that's where it probably starts at is probably trying to understand them, man. But for you, Keith, like, what do you see? And I'll go after you. Like, what do you see as a current? Well, hold on. Let me pull back a little bit and say that let's just go to the history of it, right? Because every generation is not perfect. Like we can say that this generation below us is troubled somewhat, but at one time our parents called us troubled. And at one
Mm-hmm.
time their parents called them troubled, right? Because you had what's going on now, then you had us with our generation, then you had the crack epidemic with that generation, then you had the Woodstock epidemic with that generation, then you had civil rights movement with the one before that, right? So each generation has had a a a a process to go through, and so it's just not that we're better than the lower generation, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to effectively guide them and talk to them about things to ignite those certain fires and certain things about them. So for you, what do you see about the history, and where do you see this current generation at? What do you think about the current generation, or not the
So
generation below us? I would say.
So you said a couple current things a couple things that we need to visit and discuss. I think the first thing we have to understand is that the generations before us, just like the generations that's coming after us, have different issues than what we that we're dealing with. Like there, even though there may be some similarities, there is a difference, a slight, not slight, but maybe in some cases a major difference in the situations and issues and things that they go through. But also, well, I think where we fail with our current generation and where generations before us fail with us, is I think we forget that each generation has its own language. Um, and if we are not willing to invest in to think about or try to understand or interpret that language so that we can have certain conversations with our with the lower generation, we lose them, right? And that's coming on us. It's not incumbent upon them to teach us their language. It's incumbent upon us to learn it. And I think that's what gets missed. And I even find that as an educator being in the schools, like sometimes educators don't understand the language, right? And I'm not talking about Spanish, English, French. I'm Arabic. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about languages from um like normal language that they use amongst each other. Body language, there's different, even though we know body language is 70% of communication. But there's certain elements of body language that have changed and that we associate with rudeness, but with the current generation it's not considered rude. And I just think I think the biggest issue is that we're losing. I'm talking to us and the generations behind me and behind me that are still living, and us up until the current generation. We are losing the ability to communicate with our with the lower generation, and that's because our lack of want to understand their language, and there's and a belief that our language should be prominent. I think that's critical, right? We believe that the way we were taught and the way we learned is the way it should be done, which makes us internally not want to learn what it takes to be a member of the current generation below us. And that's where we lose them, right? I think the most successful people with mentoring the current generation and being able to reach the current generation meet them where they are. All right, we have to be able to meet the current student, the current kid, the current child, the current um whatever that generation is to you. Meet them where they are. Whether that's music, whether that's art, it's all changing and evolving. And the way they do art, the way they do music, the way they do communication can be completely different than the way we do, and that's okay. But if we want to be able to talk to them, communicate with them, share the values, both family values, street values, societal values with them, we have to be willing to learn their language. And I think we fell at that.
So before we move on, I got a question for you. Not really a question, but it's a question slash statement. Can that be a double-edged sword though? And this is what I mean, right? So with my son's 7, so he has a ways to go, and we're talking probably he's probably a generation under what generation we're talking about. But I always use the words. Sometimes I use it more often than I probably should. Is the because I said so, right? The because I said so term. And sometimes I feel like that saying is relevant for the time, but sometimes I feel like it can be relevant, but I still should explain why. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
So can learning the language, right, or trying to understand them take away from like guiding them with can take away the authority power, right? The authority power, right? Because I do feel like as adults, especially when it comes to our own kids, there still has to be established hierarchy, in my opinion, and established authority, in my opinion, because for me, that builds respect not only for me as a parent or as an adult, but also other adults, police, um, other individuals that your kids should respect. Can that be a downfall to the process, or could it hinder it somewhat? That authority
I,
aspect of it.
I think if it hinders it, it's a uh you problem, and I'm gonna explain why I think that. And this is my personal opinion, because I think like you said something very important, and that was that some things are necessary, right? Some words or some affirmations or some phrases are necessary, but why can't we do those things in the language? Now, you also can find a balance between your language and theirs. You can just use their language you can use your language and use their language so they can fully understand what you're trying to get across. And so so often, like, because I'll give you this example. No matter how I say the word no, no matter what language, it doesn't lose its power, right? No doesn't lose its power because I changed the language. If it's understood, let me preface that. If the person I'm talking to understands that language, that no still has that same power, right? So if I can say because I said so, and then put that in a meaningful way in a language that they understand, my said so doesn't lose its power, right? You got to be able to connect them, right? If you're not able to learn it, be able to connect it. But you said something else important, right? Explaining it. So often we say because I said so, right? And never go into why my word and my authority is final, right? They need to know that the reason the because I said so is a lot of times because I'm trying to protect you, or because I'm trying to help you grow into a better individual, or I'm trying to help you navigate a situation. A lot of times that's what I told you so means. But we never take the time to explain that. Even if it means because I said so, and then going back like an hour later or 30 minutes later or 15 minutes later and said, hey, this is why I'm telling you this. This is what I'm trying to protect you from. This is what I'm trying to help you learn. And I think we missed that opportunity, because I know growing up, love you, mama, but I know a lot of times in our culture, because I said so was finite. That was it. Because I said so, but it was never.
Till this
We
day.
never turned. Yep, we never turned it into a learning opportunity for that kid. That's what I try to do with my boys. Like I'm a set the groundwork. I'm a lay down and say, what did I tell you to do? Right? No, you're not doing that. And I may not give them explanation now, but I'm going to sit down with them later and say, this is why I said no. And I'm going to help them understand in whatever language they best understand that, of why my saying no is important to their development. We got to stop doing it for us, right? We have to learn our kids. We have to learn our kids, and we have to talk to them. But you know what? A lot of people behind us, Kevin, and some of people in our generations never learned how to talk to their kids. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the truth.
So before we get into this thing about like understanding what they're saying and how we the best communicate with them, I want to talk about this whole voice thing, because I hear a lot of parents nowadays say, and we might disagree on this one, bro. I'm telling you right now, that their kids kids deserve a voice. Like they deserve a voice. They have something to say. They should be able to say it. And I do believe that to an extent. But this is where I stand on it. It's 100% where I stand on it. A child's voice is earned and deserved and earned. In order for you to have a voice in my home, Kevin speaking, Kev G speaking, you have to show me that you can do things right. You can't have a voice in my home if you continue to prove to me that you cannot do things the correct way.
We don't
I
disagree
will
with
be the
that.
authoritative voice in this home until you can tell me or show me that you're trustworthy, that you can do certain things that I ask you to do. If you're doing that, then you come to me, Dad, and come to me like, Dad, I feel this way. Let's talk. Let's talk. But if you continue making mistake after mistake after mistake, after I'm giving you an advice and you can't come to me and say, Dad, but there is no but. Until you show me you don't have a voice. A voice is deserved and earned. What do you think about that statement?
Oh, I 100% agree with you on that. And let me be clear about something. The parent's voice is the final authority. The parent is the final authority in their own home. Let's be clear about that. All right, giving your kid voice and choice don't mean you submit your authority, right? And this is how I look at this, kid. This is I'm the easiest way I can put it is this way. The First Amendment, we have a lot of rights. One of those rights is the freedom of speech, right? Your freedom of speech is limited. Not all, you don't have the right to all speech. Just like in my house, you don't have the right to voice everything. Like you don't have a right to a voice in everything. I have to be able to lead my home. My spouse, whoever they may be, has to have that authority to protect you, child, from you, right? And so you can have a voice in your home, but it's the way you go about it. And even that voice is needs to be limited, because you're not going to I don't want this to be made to where some people like think, oh man, your kid shouldn't be can tell you what y'all trying to say your kid can tell you what to do in your own house. Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Not in a
not.
David's household. You know,
But this
lost
this
your
is the
mind.
this is
But
the
I just want
problem
to
though, Keith. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I just want to say you can give voice and choice without diminishing your authoritative power in the house.
Yeah,
That's what I want to
100%
say.
agree. But this is what happened. This is what's happening though, Keith, and it's a huge problem because we feel the way we feel, but there's other parents that feel different, of where their kids should have this. Their kids are pretty much partners in the home, which that blows my mind. Um, but what's happening is that when you see it on TV and you see it, their friends being able to do certain things, um, and you see certain things happening, they come back. Your kid question why they can't do that, why they can't say that, why they don't know. And then it kind of creates tension in your own home, right? Because they're
Hmm.
seeing something different and wondering why this kid can go out and do whatever he want. His parents let him. Why can't I do that, Dad? Why can't I do that, Mom? And it's like creating tension in your own home. And the understanding realization is that what the kid has to eventually learn, and we have to communicate. That's where that communication and understanding come from. Is that this isn't that home.
Right. I
This
run my house completely
this isn't
different.
that home, right? I have expectations for you. I want certain things for you. I don't want you out running the street all late at night. I don't want you having sex with all kind of people whenever you want to. There's some parents that keep that say their kids gonna have sex anyway, so they might as well do it in my house. What the
Hmm.
There's parents that think that way, bro. And that can sometimes seep into your own kids' conversation and thought process because of who they hang out with. And they come back to you and wondering why they can't do certain things. That can also hinder the dynamic also in the home or in general for your kid or whoever you're trying to touch or reach.
But when you brought that up, you know the first thing that came to my head, because I said so. Right, like that's the first thing you want to say is like, because I said so, and
Um,
this is my house, and this is how I run things. But by doing that, and I'm not telling you can't do that, because I'm gonna be 100 with you. That's probably exactly how I want to respond it, right? But if that's not followed up with the conversation,
the why.
then you can run the risk of pushing them in that direction, right? I want to shut the conversation down because I'm not going to get into a battle or a dialogue about because somebody else is doing something, because I'm raising two young men to be their own man, be their own person, right? So we can have a dialogue about that, but for now, because what happened is those discussions elevate us, right? It elevate us as the adult. Like how it's kind of like a you coming to me about something somebody else doing? No, you're gonna do what I
Yeah.
told you to do. So it elevates us, our frustration, our anger. But at some point, you can do your because I said so. But at some point where they diminish, you have to sit down and have that conversation because if you don't, you're gonna push them right into what you're trying to protect them from. They need to know why
Mm.
you saying so, not just because you said so. Why are you like this is what I'm protecting you from. And if you can connect it to one of your own life choices or one of your own situations, that's where the power
That's
comes
key.
from. You just
Yep.
can't say I told you so and leave it dead because like I said, that can easily usher in this resentment, create what Kevin said, the disconnect between the family, and also push your child to the behavior you don't want them to go. Make every opportunity a learning opportunity. I don't care how bad or good it is, every opportunity that your kid experiences should be a learning
Learning
opportunity.
opportunity.
The Bible says, train them up so that when they grow old, they won't depart from it. We just got to train them, give them the tools, fill their toolbox up with the tools necessary for them to be successful as adults, and they'll have them to use in the future. But you have to be able to explain how to use those tools and the importance of those tools, right? You can't give me a saw and say, okay, now go use that saw, but I need to put up drywall, right? Like, I need to nail drywall to the wall, but you gave me a saw. Like you because the task I'm using the tool for does not fit it because I've never been taught how to use the tools and what they're used for. So every opportunity should be a learning opportunity. And if it's not, you need. I don't want to say you're failing as a parent because I don't ever want to say that. But if it's not, revisit that. Revisit that. Every opportunity should be a learning opportunity.
Yeah, man. Let's get into the meat of this, man. To figure out how we're going to do this, communicating with with this generation below us, right? So you're forward face. I'm using the corporate term forward facing. That means you're direct in contact with people of that generation. I used to be forward facing, not as much anymore since I'm not heavily involved into football on a day to day basis like I used to be. I used to be very forward facing when I did that, but so we have two dynamics. So you're forward facing. I'm not forward facing. Like back to the understanding this generation, right? Um, let's talk about how we can do that. How do we understand? My first thing is understanding the environment, right? We have to understand the environment that we're in as a world. And the biggest thing I take from if there's one component where I like to focus on a little bit because of this dynamic is technology. Um, Technology is huge. It ain't going nowhere. It's doing nothing but growing. Y'all see AI is finna become a real thing, which I hope they regulate the mess out of AI. But um, our kids, this generation below us, will be the catalyst to this IT explosion. They are the catalyst to this IT explosion with these new TikTok and all that type of stuff. So there are means for us to understand our kids if we want to.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand.
Desire.
I think one of those areas where we have to understand our kids at is at the technological level. We have to understand technology a little bit better because that's how these kids are communicating. That's how they're getting things done. That's how they're doing bad things. That's how they're doing a lot of their stuff. It's through
Mm-hmm.
technology. It's not going anywhere. I think we need, as adults, we need to understand technology as a communication vehicle for these kids. What do you think about that?
I'm glad you said that and you brought up the technology because you're 100% right. But I also want to say something else about technology. We can be hypocrites. We can be technology hypocrites. Because one thing we tend to say as adults is, oh, the kids are always on the video games, they're always on their technology, always on their phones, always on their tablets.
Just as
So are
bad.
we. And so what that does is not only we're talking about our inability to communicate with our kids and we're losing out on the opportunity to communicate and get to know them because we're using the same technology. We're doing the same things. We're not spending time with our kids and sitting down and talk with them. Dinner at the table was no longer happening. Asking our kids what they learned today at school is no longer happening. You know what I'm saying? Like how often are we around kids enough to be like just to absorb their knowledge, just to absorb their world? I'm sorry, not knowledge, but their world. What's the new interest? What's the new thing that's out there? Like for instance, a friend of mine, his son likes his clothing line, Euphoria. Like I don't know what the heck Euphoria clothing line is, but it's big, right? It's and you know what I'm saying. Like how often do we sit around and and try to understand our students? For instance, Kevin, you know what I got at my school right now? A lot of I got kids that like Beyblades, and I know it's old school, and they bringing them back out, become famous. So guess who's the sponsor of the Beyblades Club? Me, the principal. Right? How often do we get in front of the likes of our students and try to understand that, and then use it as a tool to communicate with them? We don't, because we're so invested in the same technology we blame them for focusing on. Right? And wonder why the communication is bad. Wonder why our kids can't communicate with us because we're not communicating with them. We text them, we FaceTime them, and we probably text and FaceTime them more than we sit down and say, "How was your day?" So technology is they are going with the explosion of AI and technology is continued. There's no leveling off of technology. It's not leveling off, right? But are we taking the opportunity to use that as a tool or an scapegoat or blinders? It can be all three. It can be a tool to communicate better with them. It can be a blinder because we're not paying attention to them and not learning them. And it can be a scapegoat why we think the current generation is going downhill, which in fact they're going their behaviors aren't too different than what we did.
And the key thing is you explain here, and I hope people didn't miss it. Though technology is key, technology is and will be a huge thing. It cannot supplement physical interaction.
Absolutely not.
It cannot supplement physical interaction. You have to be physically involved with not just your kids, man. We're talking. This discussion is beyond your home, right? This is beyond. This is
People.
any kid, adult, teen that you want to mentor, pour into. If you want to change the dynamic of what's going on in your city with the youth, physical physical interaction is you cannot substitute it. There has to be some form of it. And even though we were saying that get more involved in technology and don't be so succumb to it because you want to interact with them on their level, but interact with them on that level without taking away the physical aspect of it, interaction with the youth. The aspect is king. Like going to your parent teacher conferences, right? Yeah, they can do Zoom and all that, man. But when the last time y'all went to a parent teacher conference with your kid?
Yeah.
Sat in front
Sitting
of the
next
teacher
to you.
with your
Yeah.
kid, right? And so you can see because what happens. Think about it. If you sit there in front of a teacher, your kid at home can tell you anything what happened in that class in that school,
Mhm.
right? But when you sit there in front of he or she in front of that teacher, and you watch body language and you watch how they
Yep.
respond, you can
That's
learn a lot.
70% of conversation. That's 70% of
You can learn a
conversation.
lot about what's going on in that situation. They can say, "Oh, the teacher did this. Oh, the teacher did that." They will it when they sit in front there and they can't lie, or they try to lie. You can read a lot by how your kid react, right? You can understand it. Even when you talking to a team face to face, right? Like a team that you want to mentor, there's certain things you can ask them when you ask them questions and how they react, whether they look away or up that, like you can get stuff from that you can't get through text, that you can't get through calling them on the phone. Like, well, you could get through listen to the voice, but there's something about physical interaction that cannot be supplemented, and we have to understand that aspect of it.
And I'm so glad you talked about that, because I was gonna challenge everybody to do this. I want you to find one person, and I want you to text them "I love you." All right, and see the euphoria you get from how they respond. I want you to take that same person, go to them face to face, and give them an authentic "I love you," and watch the difference of the euphoric intake. Watch the difference, right? That you though it's an opportunity for us to communicate. That direct interaction can be essential and can make somebody's life. There's one YouTube guy where he literally goes and he gives somebody a rose and then a letter for them to read just to make their day. Right, that simple interacting change somebody's lives, and it's so hard to interpret emotion through text and email. Um, but and I'm not saying that stuff's not going away. I'm a texter. Like I'd rather text than call you on the phone. But I do know the importance of sitting down with people and having the conversation with them. That's why I like to sit down with my boys, and I'll text them "I love you," but I like to most of my "I love you" come in person to my sons. Um,
And like,
uh,
yeah, I do homework with my son. Like, I physically go through homework with him, right? I'm there with him going through homework. It ain't just like, did you do your homework? No, I'm physically. Well, my son got autism, so it's a little bit different. But I'm sitting, like doing it with him, going through it with him, like that interaction. But well, the big thing for me when it comes to what you were saying, like that physical aspect of it, like my former football players, right? I can text them like, man, how you doing, man? Love you, man. Hope you out there doing good. But when I see, like, I saw a couple of them at the game this weekend, and they come up and hug me, right? And it ain't just one of those boom shoulder type hug. It's a boom double hand hug type hug. That's way more powerful than
mhm.
the texting and all that, bro. It's way more powerful for me, and it's way more powerful for them because they know my love for them, right? And I'm showing it, right? I'm physically showing it. It's different, man. It's just totally different when you do it in person.
But even your
Us-
disappointment, right? I'm not talking about your particular kid, but I just thought about this. This came to my head this weekend. So KJ, I bought KJ he did two things that disappointed me this weekend, and he lost his cell phone and been gone for a whole month, bro. He answer his text message through his tablet. That's another story. And he did something else, right? And I just thought about it. Had I texted him like, bro, I'm disappointed in you, he would have said, "Sorry, Dad." He would text back, "I'm sorry, Dad." Right? But I had that conversation, and he saw this and heard the disappointment from me. And I went to my room, and he came in on two separate occasions. Yeah, he lied to me about something. He's like, "Dad, I'm sorry for losing my phone and not telling you." Then he came back and said, "Dad, I'm sorry for lying to you. It's okay, I love you." But that interaction made him go back and think, like, man, I messed up. I'm better than that. How can I fix this? How can I do better? I wouldn't have gotten that same reaction from a text message. I can
Yeah,
guarantee I would have never got that same message from a text message. So not only the positive, but sometimes using the negative as a growing opportunity for a situation, sometimes that comes better in person. But it has to be a learning opportunity. You just can't come hot and tell them they're finna get this work. As y'all know, is my favorite saying.
yeah. I just want to know why you ain't have Find My iPhone though. No, that's a
No,
whole
I
nother,
so
nother
so
story.
I did, but for some reason I forgot to click it on his to store location, and
Mm.
so it didn't share the location, so I don't know where the last place he had it was that we can look for it. So but that's on me, and that's I realized, like, even though it was his responsibility, and it helps you learn. That's what I'm glad you said that, because the communication helps you learn where you can get better at too. Because me being a person of technology, I should have known that, and I know I won't make that mistake again, right? But once again, I would have never gotten that through another form of communication. Just would never got it.
Yeah. Yeah, and staying on the understanding aspect of this before we get to the communicating aspect is understanding the youth, understanding the generation is um you you got to know what they like in the sense of
Mm-hmm.
what they do, whether it's video games, whether the type of music they like or they listen to. Not that you got to like. This is a key thing though. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like what they like, but you have to understand what they like, right? I don't understand why these kids like this music nowadays, but guess what? They like it. I don't understand why they wear hoodies in the summer, but guess what? They like it,
Yeah.
right? I like hoodies too, but not in the summer, right? Kids, even though kids like people that can, kids like people that can relate to them. You don't have to like what they do, but if you can relate to it, it's different. Like you can't like they don't want a kid. It's harder for a kid to talk to a person um that's solely focused how their generation did it, right? But they don't understand how the new generation is doing things. Kids don't open up to people like that. If I come to you like, man, y'all like Lil Durk, man, he got some decent stuff, man. Like music ain't really my thing, but I understand he from your city. You know what I mean? He doing this thing, he doing big sir. I don't have to like it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to have conversation with them, you have to know what they like. You can't have a conversation with some like how do y'all feel about having a conversation with somebody that have nothing in common with you? Nothing. Y'all can't even
Mm-hmm.
like you can't even talk about nothing. Like they don't know nothing about what I've been through. Kids just like you don't like that, neither do this younger generation. They want to talk to somebody that relates to. They will open up more to somebody that relates to them. And then but you also have to find things that are relatable that
Mm-hmm.
is similar, right? For instance, I coach football, and some of these kids growing up in poverty or in the hood. So did I, right? I have something, even if people be looking like for some large to grab on to talk to these kids. Nope. I just need this little foothold and
Yep.
I'm
I
gonna
need a
go
way
from
in.
there, right? I
Yeah.
don't need to be able to climb the whole mountain. I just need a foothold. See, we go too far and we don't even some of y'all be trying to climb a mountain, you don't even have a rope. You don't even have a climbing shoes. You don't have nothing. But you trying to climb this mountain of this talking to this generation and you can't even relate to it. They don't even understand
Yeah.
you. You don't understand them. So you gotta understand what they like. Again, you don't have to like it. You just have to understand it.
And you know that's even when you think about the. I was just thinking about a situation when you said that, and even when you think about the Jordan versus LeBron debate, we talking about two different eras, but having that discussion with kids and having to explain why they like LeBron and why LeBron better than Jordan and why LeBron the GOAT. It's analytical thinking. It's critical thinking. It's creating relationships, right? And so you don't have to believe Jordan's the greatest. I do, right? I remember one time, Kev, we were in shout out to my boy Officer Ernest Jones. We were at Ranch View and we were like it was this big circle. Everybody like it's all this yelling. Everybody like yelling, just yelling. Like you see this, like man, you think like people running over there, like, wait, what's going on? Like it's a fight. Like we're going. It's me and Officer Jones in the middle of a circle arguing with kids about football, right? And so, but that's where that's why we connected with those kids because even though we were on different wavelengths about football, it was tougher. Who's the best? Who's the greatest? We connected with those kids and developed a relation with those kids just by having a conversation with them, We found a topic that we all was passionate about that we completely disagree on. We don't gotta like for instance, like even with like the mumble rap, I can't stand mumble rap, but can I sit and listen to you have a conversation on why you like it, explain the lyrics to me, help me understand. Now let you listen to some pop. All right, let me let you listen to some like it's about making a connection. I don't care how you make it. You don't have to agree to make a connection. But can we find things that our kids love? And what happens is that allow us to ease into other conversations that are not so easy, right? I might have to have talking to you about, man, you making a bad decision, but because I took time to develop a relationship with you other than disciplinarian, you're willing to take my communication about the things that are not so positive. And I think that's a mistake. We want to focus, control, be authority without the relationship. And I think the relationship is essential. It's foundational to everything.
Yep, that's bringing us right into this topic about the communicating part. Is and I was gonna say like establishing the relationship, man. You can't. There's nothing you can do without that. And sometimes establishing a relationship isn't easy, especially when you're talking about a kid that, for those of you just like mentoring young men or women that aren't related to you, being relatable first is how you start building. You have to build a relationship, right? Being relatable, listening is key. Let me just say that I gotta stop myself. The greatest thing and aspect of communicating with with the generation below us and anybody is listening.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to shut up. You just have to shut up, especially if you ask a question and the person trying to explain and answer the question. Sometimes you just have to listen. It's key to building any relationship, right? So, like he said, like building that relationship, having establishing a relationship, but building that relationship is key, right? So, how do you build a relationship? Do you and it's a slow process depending on who you're
Can't
talking to and
force it.
about. You can't force it, right? But listening to the other person can help you can help build trust and understanding to build and allow that relationship to foster. Another key thing you made a note of is and I want you to really dive into it a little bit. It's talking versus communicating. What's the difference? Because a lot of talkers out there, you see them out there on TV and everything that talk. This is what you should do. This generation do this, and you got a lot of talkers, but you don't got a lot of communicators. Let's talk about this real quick.
The number one difference, and it's a simple one. One's one way and one's two way. It's almost that simple, right? Because if I'm communicating, it's me and who's ever involved discussing and having a dialogue about it. Talking is I am ostracizing, I am attacking, I am
Forcing.
giving direction, I am now some of this may be positive. I am forcing in some instances, I am forcing my beliefs and ideologies on you, and I'm just trying to force feed you what I believe and how I feel, right? And the communication, I'm going to either listen to how you feel or listen to what you want to say, or and then take that in some instances, repeat what you said to make sure I understand, and then share my piece. And it's this reciprocal dialogue back and forth, or we're learning, right? Talking is I'm giving you this, and that's it. And so often we do this. Like for instance, some of my kids, I'd be like, come on, hey, let me holler at you about this. I don't want to talk about it. All right, you still finna get this work, this you still finna get this consequence, and I go meet them where they are. I'll meet you in the cafeteria, like, hey, how your day doing? Good. Okay, I see you in the cafeteria. Okay, all right. Hey man, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Like, it's a dialogue, right? And it doesn't have to be a dialogue that has to be continuous at that point, right? So often people think communication is a dialogue where we directly sit in front of each other talking back and forth. A dialogue can be, I share something, 2 hours later, the person think about it, they come share something. But it's an open communication that is a two-way street, right? Talking is one way. Talking is one way because what talking does, Kev, it doesn't allow you to listen, right? If it's only talking, you're not listening. If I'm giving a directive, I'm not listening. I'm executing, right? I'm executing a task. I'm talking to you, I'm executing it. There is no opportunity or area for listening. So if you want to communicate effectively with the with the younger generation, if you want to let me change that. If you want to reach the current generation, you got to communicate, not talk. Has to be a two-way street. You got to be able to listen and share. If you can't do both, you're just talking, and you'll never reach the target that you're trying to reach.
I always tell people, man, a lot of stuff. I say, flip the script, flip it, flip it. Think about when you were young, and these principals and these adults just talked at you, da 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 da. How quick did you blank them out? Now you're hearing them, but you're not listening, right? How quick is when you were young, like somebody like Kevin, you did this, and I'm like, I'm not even really listening to you. You talking, I'm just like, these. If you do that to people or these youth, they're not gonna. It's not gonna. It doesn't give them a chance to internalize it, right, or to think about it and process it. Like I could, I can. Most of my life, I block people out when they talk to me. I if you're not allowing me to engage in conversation, I hear you. That's why I call myself not the human thumbs up emoji, right? Um, I hear you, but I'm not listening because you're not giving me a chance to respond. You're not giving me a chance to do anything. I did as a youth, I definitely did that, right? And these youth are the same way. We try to make it seem like this youth thing, the generation below us is so different from us. They're not. They're
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not.
They're not.
They're
They're
just
not.
like us, man. Like you're seeing things right now as an adult, but flip it. Go back to when you were younger and
Mm-hmm.
see how you responded in during similar situations. You'll see, that isn't a them thing. That is a age. It might be an age thing. Of course, it's age thing like maturity and things like that. But we're no different if you compare timeline to timeline, right? So, for instance, if you compare, um, trying to think of something, but if you compare something on the same level, you'll see the similarities. When we try to compare something here and here, it's hard to compare the similarities, right?
Yeah.
Like if you try to
Apples to
compare
apples to apples to oranges.
exactly, but if like go back and see how you were, just go back. I do it all the time when I talk to my son. I remember I did that. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. I remember I was like that. Yeah, even my football players, they just act, I get it, man. I get what they going through. I get they chasing after girls. You know, I was a young man
Yeah.
before too, right? And so if we can't do that, man, we can't flip it and understand kids and put ourselves in their shoes. We'll never better reach them there either because we don't become again, we won't be relatable. We can't create that relationship or establish that, okay, I know what you're going through because when I was younger, I know, bro. I know, right? So that's where I'm at with communication. You got something else?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick about the communication, and also when you talk about flipping and talking about what they did in those situations, I want you to go back and flip it this way. I want you to go think about everybody who's made a difference in your life and see was there was there opportunity for two-way conversation? I guarantee there was. I guarantee that was a person you could go talk to. Right. So just think about that. The ones that make the most difference in your life created the opportunity for you to dialogue, for you to go back and share how you feel, for you to be open. And we need to afford that to this current generation. And so often we don't, because of what Kevin said, because we think they're different, that they're, and I'm just going to say it, we think they're worse than us. When in fact, when the truth of the matter is, they're not too much different.
Not too much different at all.
They just there's different advancements in society like technology, but there's not much difference, because if back when we grew up, if you put YouTube and World Star back when we grew up, just gonna leave it there. Leave it there.
Man, I'm gonna leave it here with it though, man. Y'all hear us say this a lot. Probably gonna say it every episode. But it's just our God honest truth. It all starts with love, man.
Mm-hmm.
It always starts with your heart posture. If someone knows you love them, they're more receptive to listen.
Yeah.
If someone knows you give a darn, they're more receptive to listen. But how you come at a person, how you come at these youth with this rah, 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 it matters. You can't change their lives coming at them with hate and envy and strife that they're already getting. You got to come at them love, because a lot of these kids that are doing wrong things because they lack that love aspect in their life. Either you can be that bond or you can make them go farther apart. You choose if you want to love somebody. I mean, especially those who are mentoring young men and women that are not your own. It's more important. It's even more important there, because they have no reason to even believe that you love them. There's no reason for them to even think or believe you love them. Your own kids and all that. No, you probably should. They should probably think, oh, you probably should love me, right? People that you have no interaction like that with, they don't know you love them. That's why you gotta take an extra step, man. You gotta be extra careful and extra diligent when it comes to mentoring these youth that you have no direct connection with, because they need to feel something that they probably haven't felt in a long time. And that's love.
Yeah. And we're talking about generational communication, and love is the ultimate communicative action.
Yes, sir.
It's the ultimate communicative action. So let's practice love in our communication. Let's practice love in everything we do, and we'll see some changes.
Hey, man, Kurt Franklin, Maverick City Music got a dope song about love, man. On they the album they did together. I have to throw that out there. Dope song. All right, man. Yeah, man. Generation communication, man. Let's be better, people. Let's be better. Communicate with these youth, man. We ain't got to be so hateful towards them. We just got to guide them and mold them and love them, man. That's all we got to do. We got to listen. We got to listen.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Doc?
That's it.
Man, first episode of season 2, man. We coming in hot. We coming in hot, man. We coming in hot. We ain't letting up off the gas either, man.
Yeah.
Got some stuff to talk about, man. Hit us up. Top 5 dad jokes. How you felt about the conversation, man? Because this is a deep one, man. It's deeper than
you
what
push it.
you're in the Matrix. Yeah, man. Let us know, man. We love to hear from y'all, man. But y'all know what it is. It's your boy, Kev G and Dr. Davis. We TuVues podcast.
Yeah. We out.
We up out of here, man.
Love y'all.